the year last. And I would like you to join me.
One, two, three, four, five. It doesn't come much bigger than this. Australia's two biggest clubs going at it on Australia's biggest day. Two desperate clubs after some poor recent results. Two clubs with a long history of distrust. It's the Big Blue Mark II, Melbourne Victory versus Sydney FC, and it's coming up on Australia's sports leader, Fox Sports. And we've got beautiful holiday weather for a great sporting day here in Melbourne. Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal a bit later. Before that, the Big Blue and a huge holiday crowd in attendance. And well done to Melbourne Victory in promoting this game so well. We've got an Australian citizenship ceremony taking place on the park at the moment. And they've all been given Melbourne Victory scarves. Talk about getting them early. Two cities, of course, with a rivalry so intense that they had to build Canberra. Melbourne has Aussie rules, Sydney Rugby League, but it's on the football field that the rivalry really comes alive. And with 4 championships between them, they are the most successful clubs in the country. Whether you're navy blue or sky blue, this is the A-League's biggest blue of all. Let's take a check on the two teams, starting with Melbourne Victory, who ring the changes again. 4 in total. Out go Roddy Vargas, Matthew Kemp, Lee Broxham and Marco Rojas. In come Fabio, Grant Brebner, Carlos Hernandez, and new signing Mark Milligan. The former Sydney FC defender has signed a short-term deal from Japanese club Jeff United, and today becomes just the second player after Sebastian Ryle to play for both clubs. Now just the one change for Sydney FC. Terry Antonis' hamstring injury means he could be out for some time. So Nick Carl will revert to a midfield role with Bruno Casarin restored to the attack alongside Mark Bridge. It's also a landmark day for goalkeeper Liam Reddy, who this afternoon makes his 200th National League appearance, and he'll be hoping for a first clean sheet in 8 games. Well, the Pipers playing Victory the Brave as we await the arrival of the two teams. The newest Australian citizens have made their way down the tunnel. This will be their first experience of the Big Blue. And what a rivalry it has become in the short history of the Hyundai A-League. 2 seasons ago, they fought it out down the road at Etihad Stadium for the championship itself, of course, but in truth, this season, both are some way off the pace. Victory not even in the top 6 ahead of today, while Sydney just 2 places above them. One incoming coach, perhaps one outgoing coach. It is a time of transition for both, but the rivalry will see to it that the intensity is certainly there this afternoon. So brilliant sunshine greeting the arrival of the two teams. And before they do battle for the 23rd time on this Australia Day, we're going to hear the national anthem. It's going to be sung by Alicia and Serena Dean.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please now be upstanding for the national anthem of Australia, performed this afternoon by Serena and Alicia Dean.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and well-fought soil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every sage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia
So the pomp and ceremony is over. It's time for the action. Kickoff is coming right up. Stay with us.
Sneaky, sneaky. Two, three, four. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, got you, mate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, not a cloud in the sky here in Melbourne this afternoon. Current temperatures a mild 23 degrees, but humidity at 54% and just a slight southerly breeze. There's Jim Agilton in the job less than 3 weeks. Already daggers drawn in some quarters. Some citing his nationality as reason enough. But on a day that celebrates tolerance and all cultures, he'll be judged on performance, not passport. Vyacheslav Levitska in charge for nearly 3 years, but the title win against Melbourne Victory is starting to be a fading memory. Both coaches needing a good result and a good display this afternoon. Our referee, Strebre Delovsky, his 66th A-League appointment. He's off to officiate in an Olympic qualifier between Saudi Arabia and South Korea in Dammam next week. Such is the scope of the global game, I should say, even for referees. He's assisted by Hakan Anaz and Luke Brennan. Alex Azkura is the fourth official. Well, back in round one, it was all about these guys, Harry Kewell and Brett Emerton. It's fair to say that they boosted crowds and made the competition more attractive, but is the jury still out as to whether they've really set the league alight on the park? Perhaps today is their day. So the 23rd Big Blue is underway, and never mind the rivalry, Robbie Slater, this is about 3 very crucial points for both sides.
Yeah, just talking about it in the pre-game, it is, and even more so from Melbourne Victory. They have got a game in hand, but they're 4 points off Sydney FC. A loss here today would see them obviously 7 points and 6 points behind Perth Glory as well. So a massive game for them. And well, in my opinion, it was probably the worst performance I've certainly seen from Melbourne Victory last week in Perth. So they need to bounce back. No better stage. Australia Day, beautiful stadium. The surface is fantastic, a big crowd in.
Last chance saloon today for the Victory, would you say, Robbie, or not?
Well, the competition has been so tight and only one side has shown the consistency, and that's the team at the top, the Mariners. But certainly it'd be a huge dent, not only in respect to the table and the points, but also confidence. Although you have to point out that they do, like Sydney, both these clubs having quite a number of home games coming up. I think Melbourne Victory got 4 and Sydney FC 4 as well.
One of those is in Launceston, though, so it is important that they take points today. This is Bruno Casarin trying to launch an attack for Sydney FC, restored to their starting lineup today. Harry Kuehl with the outside of the boot, comes back off McFlynn. Brebner wins it in midfield. Now it's at the feet of Harry Kuehl. He's going to have to be quick. Everton in pursuit. Kuehl around Beecham. And he'll get the first corner of the game off Ryan Grant.
Yeah, drops into that little hole. He doesn't stay on the touchline all the time. He likes to tuck inside and come into almost like a midfield diamond on the left-hand side, although they are playing the 4-2-3-1. But there he just skips away, and watch him drop the shoulder on Beecham there. It just didn't open enough for him. Ironically, in this very poor run, Harry Kuehl has had a very good 3 weeks in respect to his own form.
Can Hernandez get the delivery right? Whipped in towards the near post. Casarin volleys it against Harry Kuehl, and that'll be a goal kick. Harry Kuehl, who's been admonished by his manager or coach, Jim Magilton, this week, for admitting that he technically took a dive against Perth at the weekend. What a horror day that was for the Victory. This is Beecham. Sydney, for their part, of course, laboured to a win against the Gold Coast, but showed great character in coming from behind yet again. They have had to do that on quite a few occasions this season. This is Carol Kissel, who is one of their goal scorers. Back to Boscart. Lovely rangy pass to pick out Bridge, who in turn helps it on towards Emerton. Fabio trying to prevent the corner, and in doing so he's only given it straight back to Bridge. Now with Nick Carl. Bridge again. And he gets a corner for Sydney FC, Mark Bridge.
Yeah, it's good movement in that front line. Look, Casarin is the one with these two up front with Bridge. He's the one that's going to stay more central. Bridge will float left-hand side, right-hand side, and Nicky Carl will look to inject himself in there as well. When they can get into the front third, Bridge and Nicky Carl, not a lot of pace, but certainly very good in short passing in and around that penalty area.
This will be a test for the Victory defence. Jamison with the in-swinger. And Carlos Hernandez stationed at the near post. Got good contact. The attempted acrobatics from Bruno Casarin. Melbourne come away with the ball. This is Matthew Fascini. Getting into the channel for Carlos Hernandez. Tidied up by Boscart, an awkward one that for Liam Reddy. He dealt with it ever so well.
He did, just cushioned it with the chest, but he was put under pressure. And Melbourne starting with a high pressing, and I think that's what they need to do here at home. Against Adelaide a couple of weeks ago, had a terrific first half, pressed high, got a goal, and then seemed to drop off.
Well, that's a pattern that's been repeated throughout this season, Robbie. Melbourne taking the lead, not being able to hang on to it. Fabio. Giving it back to Harry Kuehl, who's got some room to manoeuvre. Across the face of goal, almost an own goal by Scott Jamison. Zaka Cernak lurking with intent. Another corner for the Victory.
Oh, brilliant play. The outfox Ryan Grant there on the right-hand side, Harry Kuehl. He's shaped to come to the ball and pulled away. That's a brilliant ball across the face of the box. Archie Thompson just a little bit late, and that's an important toe from Jamison. Look at that. That's where the goalkeeper, he doesn't know whether to come or go. The defenders are running back.
Fabio to take this corner. Just too high for Mark Milligan. Good to see him back in the Hyundai A-League. Good for Milligan too. He says he wants to get back in the Socceroos fold. And he feels the best way to do that is by playing his football here.
Yeah, and it's an important signing, a crucial signing maybe for Melbourne victory. There's that ball across, important toe from Jamison. Not that we knew too much about it, but Milligan is pretty good on the ball. Probably not as good as Kevin Muscat was, but leadership qualities at the back. And their transition from defence to attack has been one of their major problems this season.
This is Kazarine. Out for Kissel. Kazarine looking to try and find the angle for the shot, which he did.
Yeah, really just stabbed at that in the end. Probably needed to try and maybe curl that one, give it a bit of a bend towards that far post, but you know, showing the confidence, made himself half a yard. There he just skips it to the right, flicks it to the right rather, and then he has to take it quickly. Little back lift as Leia was closing him down.
Bruno Kazarine, Sydney FC top scorer this season with just 5 goals. It's been one of the issues for the Sky Blues. Picked up here by McFlynn. Bridge onside and making good progress. Kissel and Kazarine in support. Back for Jamison instead. Milligan giving it straight to McFlynn. Came off the arm of Nick Carl, unintentional. Given away by Sydney, now Hernandez. Infringement by Jamison.
Frantic pace. We're trying to get the ball to Hernandez there, Mark Milligan. But for Sheeny, he had not a very happy game against Perth. He certainly wasn't on his own last week. Jim Magilton up, instructing. Fashini just got caught out there. Kissel had dropped right off and he left the hole.
Offside against Archie Thompson. He has been caught offside more than any other player in the A-League. He does like to play right on the shoulder, doesn't he?
Well, he does, and that's where he's so dangerous in those sort of runs. And he'll get offside a couple of times, but it's the one time when he gets through that you're in trouble. He loves that space in behind defence. So when Sydney push up, he'll be looking all the time to get in behind.
Terry McFlynn. Fabio stretching out a boot. Good control by Kuehl, and a high foot by McFlynn. Free kick victory. Great noise in and around Amy Park today. Always is for the visit of Sydney FC. This fixture does just have that little bit of an edge that football fans love. Good numbers here from the Harbour City too in support of their team. Here's Archie Thompson in a foot race with Beecham, which Thompson wins. Gets to the byline, but he can't pick out Cernak with the cutback. It'll drop here for Kuehl. Helps it in on the half volley, away by Boscart. And McFlynn will complete the tidy up. And there was a foul on the Brazilian too. Cushioned down by McFlynn. Carl for Kissel. Just no room to try and thread it through for Carol Kissel. Back with Grant and now McFlynn again.
They're sitting quite deep, victory already.
Touched by Bridge. Little nudge in the back of Kazarine, but no foul given. Jamison has dispossessed Azaka Cernak. Forgot to take the ball with him. Hernandez. That's great skill. At least initially by the Costa Rican. He felt he was fouled. Strebray-Delovsky disagreed. Kazarine fires wide.
The problem you see there, because they're sitting so deep, I mean, the back four virtually in the 18-yard box, when Hernandez or Cernak just before receiving the ball 30 metres out from their own goal.
Jim Magilton, who we're told is in touch, or at least maybe Kevin Muscat is in touch with Chris O'Loughlin up in the stands. He's the Irish coach that Jim Magilton has brought over with him. Apparently in training, they're dividing it up between the three of them. Muscat takes the defenders, Magilton the midfielders, O'Loughlin the strikers. With the ball over the top. Fabio, always the favourite. He's had mixed reviews this season, hasn't he, Fabio? Out suspended against Perth, but back today and immediately restored at left back in place of Matt Kemp. Boscart. McFlynn. Carl out for Grant. Now Beecham. Back in the city where he was a Melbourne Heart player, of course, last season. McFlynn into the channel for Bridge, who is pursued by Milligan. Grant. Now Carl, some room for Nick Carl. His first touch wasn't great, and that allowed Grant Brebner to close down the space. And Melbourne again very deep. Carol Kissel lost a boot in that manoeuvre. Back on his feet now. Out it comes for Emerton. Time to measure the cross, partly cleared by Milligan. Grant is in there too. Brebner gets it away to safety. Archie Thompson a little bit isolated.
And that's been kind, he's completely isolated. And that's the trouble, because they're sitting so deep. When they win the ball, there's really nothing to hit. And really, look, not sure why they would sit so deep. I mean, that's up to Leia and Milligan to push out, and allowing Sydney here no pressure at all. And they can push up against Sydney, and you know, the two they got up front, and even Nicky Carl just in behind, they're not going to beat you with pace in behind. Mark Bridge is probably the quickest of those three, but certainly not the kind of pace that would worry you. So you would be allowed to really push up and play a higher line.
They did have problems on the flanks against Perth in particular. This is Grant. Straight to Milligan. Challenged by McFlynn from behind on Hernandez. Might just have to watch himself, Terry McFlynn. That's a couple of fouls already. Man who's picked up more yellow cards this season in the A-League than anybody else, the Northern Irishman. Well, there you go, Robbie. That underlines the point. Sydney FC with the lion's share of the ball. Melbourne victory allowing them to have it. Here's Emerton. Switch for Jamison. Boscart. Kissel.
You just see as that ball from Boscart went to Beecham, Archie Thompson closing Boscart. There's no reason really why Hernandez couldn't drop in and put the pressure on.
Well, Harry Kuehl's done a great job there for the victory. Hernandez waiting for the ball to come onto him, and the chance was gone. McFlynn nipping in. Kevin Muscat off his seat immediately. Not happy with Carlos Hernandez. At least I think it was Hernandez.
Well, I think it was. It's not the fact because the ball was intercepted, but I think maybe just not chasing it when they did lose it.
Boscart. Carl. Emerton.